the Fresno Focus Radio Hour. This is the No Focus Radio Hour. Comedy and insight from the greatest minds in Fresno. A Lightomine Media production. That is right. This is the No Focus Radio Hour, the #1 independent podcast in the Central Valley. Thank you for listening and telling a friend. The No Focus Radio Hour is available anywhere podcasts can be found, including YouTube and your home smart speakers. Remember to subscribe and leave a review. It helps others discover our show. And while you are reviewing, please keep in mind that 5 stars is the correct number of stars. If you enjoy our show, please share it with your friends. And if you hate it, share it with your enemies. Hey, check out our other site, nofocusradio.com, for exclusive content and to vote on Don's polls. You can get a lot of cool stuff. Join our Discord server, chat with Stu. Find us on social media at No Focus Radio. Find the rest of our shows at lightominemedia.com.
Now I know just what I got to do. Gonna hit this ground running to my favorite podcast. Gonna hit this ground running to the city I love, Fresno.
Wow.
I like that part. We got to keep that in.
That's good. This is the No Focus Radio Hour, the #1 podcast in the Central Valley, and local radio legend Ray Appleton's favorite podcast. We're made for those who live in the Central Valley, for those who miss the Central Valley, for those who long to live in the Central Valley, and for those who
like to swim naked in the Central Valley.
Wow.
Where is this?
As always, we have our
Just
beautiful
a
cast
hobby.
of characters. Although we are missing Don, he was swimming naked in the pool cleaner.
Oh, is that what happened?
Sucked him right in. So he's, you know.
He'll climb up through someone's toilet eventually, and we'll get him back.
So it's dangerous stuff. But we do have with us Eric, the doorman. Hey, really quick, though.
Yes.
If anybody doesn't know how these guys look, check out Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, No Focus Radio. We got some posts so you can see who's who.
Oh,
the
no.
doorman.
Oh boy, I don't want anybody to know. I don't want anybody to identify me.
Oh,
Behind
too
your
late.
glasses, your white glasses.
Yeah,
one will
behind those
recognize
white
you.
glasses, those cool white glasses. Yeah. Is that really me or is
There
it?
he is.
Is it not?
Yeah, we also have with us Marty Stupidasso.
Yeah, I know. I saw my picture on there, and I was going, that's not me. And I realized, oh, my God, it is me.
You look pretty cool though. I like your picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. I like it. Yeah.
And also behind the knobs, we have the one and only Johnny Knobs.
Hey-o!
Now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
They call you Johnny Knobs. Why do they call you that?
It's a true story. It's a true story. There was years ago, the battle for Los Angeles was happening.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You guys remember that? We
Yeah.
actually talked a little bit about it.
Anti-aircraft gunner during those times.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Nice.
what happened was there was this dirigible docking station on top of the Fresno water tower, and I was supposed to. There was this small dirigible coming over, and they said, "Hey, go tie that up." And so I tied this knot. It's supposed to be a bowline knot.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick because a dirigible is not a snack. It is a blimp for those who do not know what
That's
that
a good
is.
point. Yeah. So I was supposed to tie a bowline knot, but instead I tied a square knot right around my fingers. And they said, "No, that's the wrong knot." And I thought they said, "No, that's Johnny Knobs."
Oh.
And that's where the name came from.
Oh,
Yeah, Johnny
so
Knobs.
ever since then you were known as Johnny Knobs.
Johnny Knobs,
Wow.
yes.
Started wearing hearing aids, I hope.
That's what happened. I had to wear hearing aids because I couldn't hear anything, and I have to always crank up the volume. Good save. Good save.
Hey, if you guys hadn't heard, too, we had our own Stupidasso did the No Focus and Retrograde.
Oh, yeah.
Did a special episode. It was very cool. We got to see what it was in his refrigerator.
Yes.
Right.
What
Great.
was in his underpants? Did you do your underpants, too? I can't remember.
No, that's
No,
nice.
sorry. Oh, that was me.
Spoiler alert.
That was me. But yeah, very cool episode. Thank you,
Yes.
sir, for producing that and doing
And
that.
Lily hasn't been the same ever since we talked to her.
That's right.
I
You got
pulled
some
it up
impressive-
on my phone. I started listening to it. As soon as Lily came on, my screen cracked.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
creepy.
I was like, whoa,
He
creepy.
does that.
I when I heard Lily, she said, "I'm gonna eat your soul." I don't know if that was to everyone or just me.
It was probably just to you.
Oh,
She's
okay.
that way.
And also, I want to point out here on
that is a cute doll, though. I gotta say, Lily, I thought she was look more menacing, but when I've seen pictures of Lily, she doesn't look that bad.
Really. She's kind of disturbing looking, but
Really,
okay,
you
that's
think
just
so? I don't think so.
So on our Instagram here, post pictures of everybody.
Yeah.
Marty Stu Pedasso here by far got the most likes and comments.
10 likes
Oh
and
my
2
gosh.
comments.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Just
Oh, Marty commented on himself. That's why.
doesn't matter. Still more likes. More
If I
likes.
would've known
He's
that.
our number one. He's our number one
Wow.
liked host on the show.
Who's
Thank you,
second?
thank you.
Johnny Knobs got second.
No, you. Oh no, we tied.
Oh, we tied.
Wow.
Don
Oh,
Schlitz
Don.
has been
7
missing
is a
that-
lucky
Don obviously
number.
last. Clearly.
Well, that's because where is he? We're trying to find him.
I don't know
So
where he
hey,
is.
if you don't
think
agree
he's-
with the rating, go to Instagram and vote. And
That's
by
right,
liking
vote with your likes.
favorite
That's right.
member of the No Focus
And comment
Radio Hour.
comment on our pictures.
Please
yeah, I
do.
think Don is working for the government or something now. He's like
Covert.
spy.
yeah, he's like in
ops.
covert. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody has. I don't check our. To be honest, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't check our Facebook, so I don't know if anybody's like.
He's like posting
Do you have
ghosts.
Facebook?
up there. Yeah, Facebook.
I don't
We
even
do have a
post.
Facebook. I think you had
What's
access to it.
Facebook exactly.
Yeah,
But
the
anyways,
Facebook.
I'll look at it later.
Yeah, there you go. We got a lot of stuff to get through
A
today.
lot of stuff.
A lot
to
of fun
get
stuff.
through. Marty, you've been on the hunt for some fun things to do around town.
This isn't around town, though. This is a bit.
Well, it's around A Town, right?
It's around a town. Yes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, tell us what's going on here.
There's Hidden Adventure Railroad Camp, where you can go and actually ride on an old steam train at the Roaring Camp Railroads. It's kind of like the 1880s relived, like you're playing Red Dead Redemption in real life.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Do we get robbed and everything? They have bandits that come.
Oh,
and,
no, that would be cool. Kind
That
of like
would
in
be
Knott's
cool.
Berry Farm when they used to do that. That
Oh,
was-
I love
yeah,
it. I love
yeah.
Knott's
Kind
Berry
of like the
Farm.
West
But yeah,
World.
because in this railroad, it's up. It's where is the city again?
Santa Cruz,
Felton?
right?
It's Felton.
No.
You're right, Felton. It's kind of by Santa
Oh,
Cruz.
north
You could
of
take-
Santa Cruz,
You could
yeah.
take the train to Santa Cruz, or you could take the train up to the top of Bear Mountain. And it's a real live steam train, and it's supposedly really cool. Also, right next to there is a Bigfoot museum.
Oh,
And you can go to the
awesome.
Bigfoot museum and visit all the Bigfoot stuff.
That
This
would be
is
awesome.
cool. You can go another one called the Suntan Special. Instead of going up the mountain, you take one down to San Lorenzo River and then through a tunnel built in 1875.
That would be cool.
Hour-long ride, and you're spit out on the Santa Cruz
Wow.
Beach Boardwalk.
Could I just get off and not be spit out?
No, there's actually, there's this giant guy who spits you out.
And you're covered with suntan.
Well, now,
Yeah.
now scroll up a little bit. Now, this is interesting, too, because they say that Norman Clark founded the camp in Railroad here in 1963,
I was
right?
born in 1963.
Yeah, and so this thing's been going on for a long
It's been
time.
going on when Kennedy
and
was president.
his daughter has taken it over now, and they're keeping it going. So yeah, it's a part. It's living history, like they say in this article. It's
Very
very cool.
And also the nice thing is, if you go there, ride the train on the way back. If you go up by San Jose and you go by Moffett Field, you could see an actual dirigible hangar, the one that
Oh,
they're
yes.
revamping for the
Yes.
dirigibles that they're going to start creating.
Oh, here we go with a little bit of the news report here.
Still running from back in 1899.
I think at first it's shock and awe to see an old steam engine, see a guy hop up on a water tower and actually pour like 700 gallons of water into an engine all covered in
drought.
soot and dirt, and then be able to ride it up through the majestic redwoods.
There are
not
two
renewable.
lines running. The steam engine takes guests through the train back up the mountain. Each of just aren't
You know,
made.
I'm sure they
Cool.
probably want that to
Everything's
run
ma-
off renewable clean energy and put solar, make it electric.
Throw some solar panels
Yeah,
on
an
there.
electric
some batteries in there and stuff. That'd be great.
That's really cool. I think that would be a lot of fun. I
would
think
be
that
fun.
would be cool to take, because you take a train, which is kind of like a roller coaster. You end up on the beach boardwalk.
Yeah.
You could do some more, roller coasters.
I'm going to take my son there because he liked to play Red Dead Redemption and like the train stuff, and I think he'd really get a kick out of it.
Now, have you ever been up to the mystery spot up there? Isn't that around Santa Cruz?
No, I have been to other mystery spots, but not to.
I always wanted to go to that one too.
We should go.
That would be fun to do the train. And
We
do
should.
mystery
We
spot.
should do live from the mystery spot.
Or the Winchester Mystery House. That would be cool too.
I've actually
We're
never
not
done
gonna
that
do
one
this
either.
whenever.
Yeah, no,
You've
I've never
to
been
the
there either.
Winchester Mystery House?
No.
Oh, we
I
gotta
remember.
go. It's fun.
I remember. I wanted to go ever since. I don't know why I've never gone. I wanted to go ever since when I was a kid. I saw Winchester Mystery House on That's Incredible. Do you remember That's
Yeah,
Incredible? Yeah. It's a TV
also-
show where they had a bunch of oddities and
Yeah.
stuff, and they would have like neat stuff on. It was primetime TV, but back in the day. But anyway, I always
And
wanted to go
also,
to Winchester.
on the way when you're traveling up north on the around Madeira, they would have Winchester Mystery House sign.
The big
I
sign,
remember
yeah,
the
yeah.
sign.
And I remember always, I want to go there.
That's
I want to go
right.
there.
It's not there anymore, huh?
No, I remember the sign.
That's right.
But it was there for the longest time, and I always wanted to go there. And finally, when I got older, I did, and it was awesome.
Now, have you only been one time?
Oh no, I've been multiple times. I even took
wow.
my children there.
Have you been there at nighttime? They do the night
No,
tours?
I went to though. They also
Yeah.
opened up other parts of the house, and you could do nighttime flashlight tours.
But you can't. Can you record when you're in there, or you can't record video?
You could record video because I've done it before, and you could take pictures.
Okay, they'll let you do that.
Yeah, as long as you're just not like obnoxious with it.
Oh, okay. No, that would be cool. I would like to go. How long's the tour?
Walk
Maybe
with the Spirits
40 minutes
tour.
to an hour, maybe.
Okay.
Because it's a big ass house.
The
Yeah.
Walk with the Spirits tour.
That's the
is
nighttime
their
one.
latest offering. It's a nighttime one
Mm-hmm.
where guests will attend the wake for a departed soul in the parlor of the home. Ascend to the 3rd floor to experience a Victorian-era seance and end in the dark and foreboding basement, home of the famous Wheelbarrow Ghost. Tours are offered daily, starting on July 7th, 2022.
Wow.
They also have a big Halloween thing that they do every year, but
Yeah.
you got to book that way in advance.
Would you guys do the seance one? That kind of
Oh, yeah.
freaks me out.
I do all that stuff.
You would love to do that? Would you take Lily, your
Oh,
haunted
I would
doll?
not take Lily. No, she causes problems wherever she goes.
Okay.
Wow.
I would go during the day. I don't know if I'd do the seance at night one.
I would, but I've been, I'm into that stuff.
Yeah, that one kind of. Would you do that, Max? The seance one?
No. I mean, sure. No. Probably not. It sounds creepy.
I'd be afraid, man. I don't want to be possessed.
Is this movie, how old is this movie?
It's recent.
The Winchester movie?
Yeah, it just came out a couple of months ago, right? A few months ago.
I've never even heard of it. So let's watch the trailer. Here we go. This is with starring Helen Mirren and Jason Clarke.
Okay.
I feel their presence in the air, in the walls. It has found us.
So it's a big hype.
Yes, it looks definitely like it's not historical.
No.
No,
not at all.
does not look
It's a
historical.
gargantuan 7-storied structure with no apparent rhyme or reason.
Built on the orders of a grieving widow. Sarah Winchester's mind is as chaotic as the house itself. We're worried about her sanity, Dr. Price.
Mrs. Winchester, it's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Okay.
Okay, now here's the
It's
deal.
kinda like
So
The Conjuring. It's just like
Yeah, it's a classic horror movie.
you've been there and you've probably been told the stories, but the whole idea is basically that she was the heir to the Winchester, the rifle
right.
company, right? Her husband was the owner of it, and so I think she felt she had talked to a spirit guide or a medium or somebody, and they had told her that to keep the hammer moving, there has to be building going on constantly in this place.
And you need to build it to confuse the ghosts.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and she would sleep in a
so
different
that
room
the
all the
spirits
time.
of supposedly the spirits of people that died from Winchester firearms
Right.
were haunting her or were going to haunt her or something.
Correct.
And so as long as they did that, it would keep her at peace or keep her safe.
Keep the ghosts busy.
Keep the ghosts
And
busy.
Also, she
Okay.
would keep sleeping in a different room every night to throw the ghosts off.
That is torture. I mean, can you imagine living that life though? That would be torture.
Yeah, but also, Skeptoid did a deep dive on her, and a lot of things that they say about her are hype for the house, hype for
Really?
So that I was
advertising
wondering,
the
like,
house.
how much is it
A
actually
lot of
real?
the truth is not real.
Okay.
Basically, she was a humanitarian. She wanted to keep people employed. And as long as she built, she was keeping builders and all these other people employed during hard times.
Okay. When was that done? You remember what?
I don't know, but it suffered damage during the big earthquake in San Francisco. So it's been there a while.
1906?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think she started it as it was originally a farmhouse.
Now, do we know, has anybody, like they just showed like a maid cleaning the place. So my thought was that, has anybody like died, like cleaning the place, like forgot that a door opened to nothing and maybe fell out, or,
I don't know. Let's see, part of the reason for the weirdness of the house is she liked to do her own designing, and she was a very bad architect.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
interesting.
A lot of it. That's why the doors open to nowhere, because she was just a bad architect. So
there's nothing to do. Yeah, nothing to do. Interesting. Okay, very interesting. Okay. So we got to catch the train, go to the Winchester, go to the mystery spot,
go to the Moffett Field to see the
dirigible hangur. Man, we got a busy weekend.
It's a big weekend, right?
That's a whole week.
Wait till
I think.
we go.
Yeah.
Going nowhere. We're not doing anything.
We'll do live broadcast
and do nothing.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not a bad idea.
It's too hot to go anywhere.
It's so hot. It is too hot to do anything, even almost podcast. All right, guys.
But
John
we're dedicated.
Zanoni.
Hey, isn't that our new sheriff?
Locally.
Our new sheriff.
We got a new sheriff in town.
I love it. He beat Mark Salazar, who is the deputy chief of Fresno PD. So Zanoni is the one that Mims, I believe, backed.
Yeah.
She's a great lady. We're going to miss her.
We are, yes. That's big news. He won 60% of the votes, which is really good.
That's very good.
Zanoni's been with the sheriff department for 26 years.
Wow.
He started as a reserve deputy in 1996.
Oh, nice.
So he knows the city. He knows the
dedicated.
area. Absolutely.
Well, that's good that somebody that actually knows what's going on around here, rather than somebody coming from the outside that doesn't know.
So very, very
They decided to build a baseball stadium, but make it an open-air stadium and not a dome. Yeah, that was genius.
We got a little bit of a little news here from our friends at ABC 30.
Days worth of water. Well, that is exactly what these crews are facing on the ground.
Oh, this has nothing to do with the story. Okay, never mind.
Oh, that's about the fire.
That's about the next
fire,
story, though. Yeah,
the next story. The fire's up in Yosemite.
So, anyways, congratulations to John Zanoni.
Congratulations, we voted for you twice.
So, Marty,
yes,
this is an interesting one. This is how big this story is, guys. This is Yosemite's giant sequoias are threatened. And this is from the BBC. Yeah. This is literally 40 minutes away from us. For those of you who don't know, the Washburn Fire.
Yeah, it's not
the
far
Washburn
at
Fire
all.
is the BBC. Yeah, they're across the pond.
But see, it's interesting because they're talking about the giant sequoias, how the fire's threatening them. But the sequoias have evolved to make fire part of their reproduction and evolution process.
Interesting.
Because if you see a lot of them, they're already scorched and burned from previous fires.
Sure. Yeah.
Because there's a thing in the redwood and in their wood that excretes a substance that makes them somewhat fire retardant.
Oh, wow.
So, it's great that they're trying to protect them, but also, trees like that need the fire to open up the pods for their seeds and to get rid of all the other brush so the seeds can germinate and make more of their trees.
However, though, a question, and I don't know, I haven't read the story, though, is, we've talked about this quite a bit.
That's kind of a hidden fact I learned from when I was a child.
Oh. So we've talked about this a bit, though. The fact that we have been not doing a lot of forest management and disallowing some natural fires, and then is this going to be too big of a fire that's going to harm them because it's not like a normal?
I don't know, but they put sprinklers around the base of the General Grant, which is the world's biggest, largest, whatever.
Largest, oldest?
I don't know. But anyways, they put sprinklers around it to increase the humidity level and also to kind of saturate the area so it's less likely to harm it. Because it would be tragic to lose it.
No, but you know what'll probably happen is that'll probably create an environment where the tree cannot defend itself now.
Against the mold that develops from the extra
and something
water.
else will take it out, you know.
Some fungus will
But
get
that's what cracks me up. They'll spend the time to put sprinklers around these trees, but they won't spend the time to do. I also heard that they were supposed to clear the brush, but this is just I don't have the news article, but supposedly they cleared the brush. But one of the supervisors, I think it was Wheeler from Madera, said that there was a lawsuit pending which didn't allow them to do that, and then now the fire has sparked.
Right.
So I mean, here we are again. These forests aren't getting cleaned.
They're not getting logged with all the dead trees that are there.
And we've got another fire. Now, at least for us in the valley, I guess the wind, all the smoke and everything blew the other way.
We've been lucky, yeah.
Yeah, so we actually, in that sense at least. But
we're not choking on smoke and getting our car covered in ash like usual.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, I hope the firefighters stay safe up there.
Yeah, and the trees are
Do we have an update on the fire right now? Do we know what the fire is like as of
It's
right
hot,
now?
and it's
a hot fire.
Is it kind of burning out, or is it getting bigger?
It's getting bigger, but it's also getting more contained. So,
Okay. Because it's going into an area, right, that's not inhabited, so they're not really worried about it affecting necessarily, people's homes and stuff and all that. So,
which is good.
Yeah, the most up-to-date, and this is from the Washburn Fire Information from the NC Web incident information here. This is the most up-to-date. You can get pictures and all that. It's 4,822 acres now, but it is 37% contained.
Okay. All
So
right.
the problem is, I don't know if you guys realize how close it is to Fish Camp.
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
It's right there. And that's this is literally the entrance, the Wawona. You guys know the Wawona hotel.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if apparently that's very close to be burning down.
We need to have our on the scene correspondent Austin.
Actually, that's a really good question.
Yeah, where's he at?
He's
He's
probably
probably stuck in the middle of this fire.
No, he's probably looking for Washburn gold.
That's a good call. That's a good point. So yeah,
From a past episode, you guys
pretty
have to check it
big.
out. Yeah.
But I mean, comparatively, when you remember the size of those other fires look like it took up half of California, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll have nothing left to burn soon.
This is true.
Bigfoot will have to live in Washington exclusively.
Just
He
crazy.
can't hide anymore. Bigfoot won't be able
I
to
know,
hide.
we'll find him, or
Yeah, he's like, dang, you guys saw me again. Another picture. How many more videos? Maybe he should just put up at that point, get a place to do selfies and stuff. Make some
I've been
cash.
following on Instagram this one place that puts up a lot of Bigfoot footage, and
Mm-hmm.
you always wonder, first of all, why is this person just filming plants and suddenly says, oh my God, there's Bigfoot? It's like, why would you just film plants? Or
Yeah.
you could tell just by the way the creature moves that it's totally human.
Or they press record and you see him run around to the front of the camera.
And they're like
walk
flopping
through
their
in
big feet.
In their costume.
I
yeah.
saw one where it was running. It was really neat the way that the creature ran, and then it had to go over a fence, and it stops and puts its hands down and go over the fence, looking just like a human.
No.
And you're going, no, that doesn't work.
So if you're a Bigfoot imposter, don't film near fences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just you got to be careful
Don't
what you
jump
film.
them
Yeah, don't jump like a human.
Or just actually go look for the real Bigfoot. Don't be lazy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We should go look for Bigfoot. We're not going to go do that.
Well, after that one, what was that one documentary we saw about Bigfoot in Mendocino County?
Oh yeah, it's
We were
called.
talking-
Oh yeah.
What was that
What
called?
was it called? Bigfoot? Was it called Bigfoot?
Was it called Bigfoot or something? That one documentary. Anyway, after I saw that, I don't know if I want to go look for
I know,
Bigfoot.
but
It's kind of
it
scary.
has nothing to do with Bigfoot. It just has people growing marijuana.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Who knows what you'll run into up there?
Oh, I
right?
know. That's why I don't go up there.
So the giant sequoias
Yes,
almost
yes, yes.
burned down.
National
They're almost
treasure,
gone.
national
Guess what else is down?
Yeah, but there's some other stuff which apparently is pretty interesting. And I think Marty, you got a bit of information about these bad boys, right?
Oh yeah, the Georgia Guidestone. So the Georgia Guidestone was called the Stonehenge of America, and it was created in the 1980s, and nobody knows who really funded it, but someone funded it, and these guys built it, and it's a 19-foot tall set of pillars, and it's set up for the summer and winter solstice. It's like a big old solar calendar too. And it also had information written in different languages, how to rebuild, kind of like rules to rebuild the population after a cataclysmic event. And one
COVID?
or like nuclear strike, or asteroid strike, or pandemic. That's really.
Did it
killing
mention
people.
it was all Putin's fault?
Yes, and also after Vladimir Putin starts World War III
Now these things. I'm sorry. These things came up in how long ago?
in the 1980s.
1980s. Okay.
Yeah, so they weren't really
By Ted
old.
Turner. Do we have
Exactly, it's from the area around Ted Turner,
Georgia? Did they say go Atlanta Braves on there too? Was
Trying
it-
to say Ted Turner might have had a hand in creating him because it's where he is from.
Yeah.
But it was out in the middle of nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
and it was slowly becoming a tourist attraction. But it has guides for rebuilding civilization, and one of the things that they said was to keep the population down to 500
eugenics.
million.
Promoted eugenics.
Yeah, but after a big old devastating event, you're going to have a low population. It's saying basically, keep the population low. But anyways, it was really neat of something different, and of course, someone blew it up because it became controversial. People were saying it's satanic.
Well, it's been that way for years, though. It's been controversial
Yeah,
for
it
years,
has.
right?
But somebody decided to blow it up. Now, the
Wow.
weird thing is, okay, if anything else got blown up, they would tape it off. They would do an investigation.
Yeah.
They would find out information about the bomb that was used, what kind it was used, any DNA evidence that was possibly able to be found. because that's what they do in like Iraq and other places, is they corner off the area and they investigate the substance and what bomb was used to blow this thing up, to find the terrorists. Instead, they just later that day, they just tore the whole thing down. No investigation, nothing. They just tore the whole thing down.
Now, we're watching video here on the monitor of this thing blowing up. So obviously they had surveillance cameras around this whole thing, right?
And that's got to be a big, because those are heavy, right?
Well, these are huge stones. But my point is they don't see anybody coming in and putting the bombs down? Or
before, right? Exactly. That's the other point.
Show that. Yeah.
Why don't they have the footage of them getting it? They were obviously on camera the whole time.
And it took them a while because the blast came from the top, so they had to climb up it, put all this stuff. So it makes you wonder, okay, who was really involved in this and what are they covering up?
So all of a sudden, did the cameras magically go down, kind of like in the cell of Epstein? You know how the cameras magically didn't work.
Everyone went
and
on,
then he suicided himself.
But it's sad because people are trying to make the world a little bit more magical. You know, you remember the magic monoliths that were appearing everywhere?
Yeah,
like down in the desert. And
those were awesome.
Yeah, and they were appearing, and people were destroying them, tearing them down for no reason.
Okay.
In other words, they were just being jerks. So.
Well, do you think this? These Georgia Guidestones? Do you think they were demonic, or do you think they were by globalists, or do you think they were just by some people that were just trying to get some good information?
It's a weird. The story is, and I read this after you posted this. There was a guy using a fake name, Robert C. Christian, R.C. Christian, and he went saying on behalf of a small group of loyal Americans. And it's kind of interesting because. They just said these guidestones have a simple message for human beings now and for the future. We believe our precepts are sound and they must stand on their own merits. So I just think it's pretty interesting that some of the stuff's not terribly crazy, but some of it's a little bit like maintain humanity under 500 million, guide reproduction wisely, unite humanity with a new living language.
But that's after a cataclysmic event. And, you know, it's like, okay, you have a lesser population. Yeah, you want to limit the population because you don't want to overpopulate the earth and you run out of resources.
Yeah, but what's this? Protect people. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Rule, passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. What does that exactly mean?
They're obscure and they're open for interpretation.
They have some weird things with, like, Egyptian hieroglyphics, like little things that kind of help break it down.
This kind of sounds like Freemasonry type of stuff too.
I think it's probably a little bit of all these things, right?
Yeah, or maybe it could just be someone who thought, hey, let's do something weird and kind of cool. Make something like this. Put some stuff on there. You know, they don't think it all the way through. They just make it vague, and then they build it and they go, okay, this is pretty cool.
It was pretty expensive, though.
Yeah, I don't think it was just like some joke or some.
It was Ted Turner, probably.
It was. He owns Turner Broadcasting.
It cost them over almost $400,000 in modern.
I thought
it
was up to in the millions for that thing, but no, it's $400,000 to make it.
Yeah, plus they had to buy the land, so who knows?
Yeah.
So who knows? Could have been quite a bit of money.
And then get it there, but I don't know these. I don't think these are just some random funny. Yeah, let's just be funny and throw some stuff up there and have people talk about it. Those monoliths, yes, those were actually shown. People were actually seen putting those things up at some point, right?
No,
they caught them.
People worked on them, but they don't know who commissioned it.
Okay. But this thing here, just popped up overnight. And plus it happened in an era when there wasn't, back in, would you say, the 80s, right? So there wasn't a lot of...
trace a lot of the information.
There was no internet. It wasn't like everything's not on the internet like it is now.
And the real mystery
is pop up magically.
Who funded it? And it didn't pop overnight. It took them a while to build it because like there are people who are talking about how their dad carved, worked on the carvings and stuff like that. But it's the big mystery is who funded it and why.
Well, I have another
But it's kind of neat. You didn't have to blow it up. You could just leave it alone.
My question is, there is an area that says there's a time capsule placed 6 feet below this spot.
Right.
Be opened on, and there's no date.
Yep.
Are they digging that up right now?
I don't know. That was one of the big questions. And if they dig it up, do we get to know the contents? Or are they going to keep the contents secret?
I know exactly who needs to do this. and probably a lot of people won't catch this reference.
I agree.
Geraldo Rivera.
Yes, thank you.
He did Al Capone's. If you guys need to look up internet, Geraldo Rivera,
and
Al
what
Capone
killed his
vault.
career. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. There was like a week-long investigation, right? He was going to open this vault. So a week-long
they did it live on TV.
Special.
Yeah.
And they did it live. They opened it, and there is nothing in the vault.
Absolutely nothing.
They definitely, to get his career back, he needs to go and
out there with a shovel, dig it up himself.
Yes, and do this time capsule.
But that's one of the big questions everyone has is what is in the time capsule, and are they going to make it public? And if not, why not?
Well,
Jimmy Hoffa.
Maybe there's nothing in there. That'd be great.
Yeah.
It's just like
Geraldo's career would be even more.
Why would they not
ruined.
put a date on there, though? That's the thing.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Didn't get
to be opened on.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Huh.
Pretty interesting.
But the people
So do you
who actually build it are still alive? And
Well, do you think they blew it up themselves, or do whoever was involved with it?
That would be interesting, right?
Because they realized they had no time capsule, they forgot to put it down.
Or just to get renewed interest, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh crap, COVID's happening. Let's renew interest in
that
this
would
thing.
make some sense why they didn't investigate it,
right?
And they just tore it all down, and they thought, okay, now let's go to the next.
Well, that is
because now there's a whole
doesn't-
new generation
no.
of people who are like, what the heck are these things?
Yeah, and it's
It
going to be a
doesn't-
deeper mystery now.
No, they're trying. I'll tell you what it is. They're trying to erase. They're trying to erase the memory. Exactly. They're trying to put it down the memory hole so nobody remembers. Georgia, what? Uda, what? Nobody will remember this thing. And it's happening all over. The globalists are trying to erase everything.
But it's kind of like Marilyn Monroe. If Marilyn Monroe had lived to be old, she wouldn't have been the superstar she is. So now that this got blown up, maybe it's going to be a super enigma.
I like that.
I don't know. I don't think it. It doesn't have the sexy appeal that Marilyn Monroe had.
Oh, come on! It's got to be sexy.
That stone engraved with those letters. Yeah.
The wind blowing up the
phallus. It's large and
how the solstice sun used to come in the cracks.
Oh my God! Okay.
Of
Good night, everybody.
Of the stones.
Wow. You went deep there, didn't you?
We do have we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, I have a friend who's all their data about their firearms were
Oh my gosh, they were involved in that?
posted online.
Uh-oh.
Also, we're going to talk about a lot of other things. How cars are a subscription nightmare, and a bunch of other things. A lot to talk about. Be right back after a word from our sponsor.
We live in a world of uncertainties. Time often passes so quickly that people rarely take the moment to ask, what will happen to my body when I pass away? Surviving family members can be left struggling with difficult decisions concerning a fitting tribute to celebrate a person's life and how to say a final goodbye. At the mortuary of the Talking Spirits, our funeral counselors are also certified spiritual mediums. It is now possible to contact the dearly departed and ask them what kind of funeral service they wanted. Our funeral counselors will use their abilities to connect with your departed loved one and summon their spirit from the great beyond to one of our tastefully decorated arrangement offices. Now, the deceased can be an active participant when making decisions regarding the final arrangements and disposition of their mortal remains. After making contact with the departed soul, a beloved family member is chosen to spin our giant roulette wheel of funeral and cremation packages. Every type of arrangement and disposition that we offer is represented on the wheel, and each arrangement has an equal chance of being selected. The spirit of your loved one will slow the roulette wheel until it eventually lands upon a funeral or cremation package that they desire for their final disposition.
En el nombre del Padre, y del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amén.
Psst, hey, why is the Catholic Mass in Spanish? It's what Mom wanted. She was an Irish Protestant. Sometimes the final wishes of your dearly departed may be a bit surprising. But when you make arrangements with the mortuary of the Talking Spirits, you may rest assured that they had a hand in making their desires known. Call us today for information about our funeral services and receive a 10% off coupon for evening seances with one of our certified spiritual mediums. We are the mortuary of the Talking Spirits, providing for all of your afterlife needs.
right. Thank you to our sponsor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one mortuary I never worked for. It would have been fun, but
Yeah.
I'm not a good spiritualist. I can't connect with anybody.
So, like, I guess, have you guys ever used them at all, or do they just?
No.
I just bury all the people in the backyard. Like
Okay.
you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'd like to use them for the Georgia Guidestones. They might,
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
yeah, maybe they can connect us to who put those things up.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And once again, thank you for your sponsorship. We appreciate all of our sponsors and want to just give a shout out to especially our listeners who use our sponsors. So when you do go to them, just make sure you tell them that your deceased family member told you that the No Focus Radio
Hour was the best.
Well, better than that, make sure you put it in your will. Make sure you put that in your will.
Yeah, that's not
that
a bad
it has to
idea.
be,
Yeah.
Mortuary,
that
the
you have to
talking
tell them that the
spirits.
No Focus Radio sent you.
Yep, No Focus Radio.
I think they give you a complimentary Ouija board when you're done, too.
Yes.
So you can
Oh,
keep
nice.
on
Beautiful.
communicating with your loved ones.
So they can tell you how much they didn't like you in real life and they like you less.
Oh, man. That would be harsh.
Wow. Oh, so what happened? Now, you said you had a friend that this whole I heard about this in the news, that there was some firearm registry or something, because you have to register your gun, right?
Right.
And this thing got put out there on the internet? What the heck?
So this is a really interesting situation, because it's pretty related to Fresno, because the Fresno is the main city that's actually heading up the investigation.
Really?
Which I think is really cool. Yeah. So this whole DOJ leak is pretty interesting.
Okay, what does DOJ mean?
The Department of Justice.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So when you what is happening?
Yeah, what's the process? So when you go to get a firearm,
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Okay, is this
No.
for like a concealed carry permit?
No, but I mean just
or
in
to
general,
buy a
right? Because you
firearm?
have to get
so when you go to get a concealed carry.
it's concealed carry. Okay, so
Yeah.
you go to get concealed, you have to go through a process where they have to investigate you.
A
right?
whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get your name, race, address, date of birth, type of permit, what kind of gun you had, jobs, background checks.
Okay.
They also do, when you do a concealed carry, they send a cop to your neighbors and do interviews.
Oh, wow.
You get an
Wow,
FBI
it's
background check, Department of Justice background check. You get a ton of information.
Now wait a minute. Now this was before. Was this before the Supreme Court decision came down, or was this after?
It's after.
So before though they had to do all this stuff to the Supreme Court. How did the Supreme Court, before we get into the other story, how did the Supreme Court affect this?
What do you mean?
They can't do all this now, right?
No, they still can.
They
still
can't
can.
deny you a concealed permit?
The Supreme Court ruling was that, like in New York and California, in California, for instance, you have to give a good reason why you need a concealed carry permit. So you still have to do this, but you have to write a little couple paragraphs of why you think you need
Before
one.
the Supreme Court decision.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court basically said you cannot deny them you can't give them just a good reason. Everybody should have a right.
Yes.
For
Yeah, you don't
concealed
have
carry.
to give them a reason, because that was one of the issues.
It's for personal protection,
Especially
that's it.
in New York, they would be like, well, we don't think you need it because police can protect you.
Okay.
So like when my friend went and got his CCW,
Yeah.
he was telling me that one of their questions was, why do you need it? And he was like, well, I have a family I want to protect. And they were like, well, have you been threatened? Have you been? Is there a reason why though you think you need it? Do you have an active threat against you?
He didn't say the government's coming for me, did he?
Right. So
clowns are after
so
me.
then it was like, well, he travels to dangerous areas with his family, and when he's in downtown or whatever, and he's like, as soon as you guys get rid of crime in town, then I won't need to give you a reason, that sort of thing.
Well, and he has a business too, I think, right? So he's got he's got to protect himself.
So they approved it, but in New York, the issue was they just weren't approving any.
Okay.
Right?
So the Supreme Court made that decision.
Yeah.
And then this story comes in, right? So
yes. Yeah, so what happens here is there is Rob Bonta, who is an attorney general, they decided to put up a transparency initiative, right, which would essentially created something called the firearms database, I believe. So firearms database is what happened. So it was called the
Which basically collects all the information of people that have concealed carry,
Yeah,
right?
so what
All their information into one spot.
Yeah, and this is very key. Attorney General Bonta releases a new firearms data to increase transparency and information sharing. This is from his own
His
website.
office.
This is the office of Rob Bonta, Attorney
Yes.
General. California Attorney General today announces, this is June 27th, a new and updated firearms data available through the California Department of Justice, DOJ's, new 2022 Firearms Dashboard portal. The dashboard is accessible through, and there's a link. So there it is. This announcement will improve transparency and information sharing for firearms-related data.
And this was dated Monday, June 27th.
Yep, 27th. It says, this will give broad enhancements to the platform to help the public access data on firearms in California, including information about the issuance of concealed carry permits and gun violence restraining orders. So here's my thing. Here's the issue here.
So wait a minute. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, wait. What does that mean?
So wait, the story has been... Wait, what is the story as you guys know?
I'll tell you what I know.
Yeah.
That it was the data was accidentally released.
Right. It's accidentally released. It was like a leak, right?
It was a leak, yeah.
Yeah, but once again, read this.
That tells me
Attorney
it's purposely.
General releases
Yes.
new firearms data to increase transparency. And I quote...
So you could look up people who have concealed weapons permits.
They'll be able to access data on firearms in California, including information about the issuance of concealed carry permits and gun violence restraining orders.
And it's a very vague statement.
Attorney General says, transparency is key to increasing public trust between law enforcement and the communities we serve. So, he says, as news of tragic mass shootings continue to dominate the news, leaving many with feelings of fear and uncertainty, we must do everything we can to prevent gun violence. One of my continued priorities is to better provide information needed to help advance efforts that strengthen California's common sense gun laws. Today's announcements puts power and information into the hands of our communities by helping them better understand the role and potential dangers of firearms within our state. So, let's clarify this. Attorney General Rob Bonta creates a new website, the 2022 Firearms Dashboard Portal, that gives, quote, public access to data on firearms in California, including issuance of CCWs, gun violence restraining orders, who has guns, dealer of record sales, gun violence restraining orders, carry concealed weapons permits, firearm safety certificates, assault weapons, and roster of certified handguns. So, he says, I am giving everybody this information.
Yes.
So then the website post. That was June 27th. He announces, this is what I'm doing, right?
Yes.
June 29th. Same website, California Department of Justice alerts individuals impacted by, quote, exposure of personal information from the 2022 Firearms Dashboard. So he releases it.
Yes.
Then 2 days later, they say, the California Department of Justice has announced that personal information was disclosed in connection with our June 27th update of the Firearms Dashboard. The incident exposed the personal information who were denied a concealed carries permit from 2021. It gave them full names, date of birth, address, gender, race, CCW license number, California Information Index number, fingerprint checks, government-issued identifiers, driver's license numbers, internal codes corresponding to statutory reason that a person is prohibited from possessing a firearm. So what they do is they release a dashboard and they say, we're giving everybody the information.
Yeah.
2 days later, people get angry. And then they say, there's been an exposure of personal information. We don't know what happened. And then Rob Bonta says, this release of personal information is unacceptable and falls short of my expectations from this department. What did we just read from 2 days prior? That he was proud to be releasing a website that gave everybody the information. And then it happens, and he says, oh my gosh, I don't know what happened.
That's criminal. He was very vague in that first statement because it doesn't tell you what information. It just says information. So that's what he's going to fall back on and use, right, to get out of this, to slither out of this. He's going to say, well, it does. I didn't say what information. They went too far and released too much information. I never gave it.
So my friend gets a letter in the mail from Attorney General Rob Bonta.
Oh, your buddy. Okay.
That says, oh my gosh, we are so sorry. Yeah. We don't know how this happened, but we are about to do a full investigation into how this information was released.
Okay, what information?
How it was released?
Exactly, information is like just a name or name,
No.
Name,
full names, date of birth,
Yeah.
address, your gender, your race, your CCW license numbers, your California index number,
everything.
your fingerprint check, government
There you
issued
go.
identifiers,
Shoe size,
driver's license information, internal codes responding to your statutory reasons that a person is prohibited from possessing a firearm.
my God. So
Your
everything.
your
Jeez.
DOJ background check, your FBI background, literally everything.
It would be like having your whole credit report out there. Everything.
Everything. And then
Even
they
my
say,
OnlyFans
With
and
guns.
then they have the balls to say, now we don't think things like your Social Security was leaked.
They don't think.
They don't think.
Yeah.
However, we are, just because we're going to give you a year of free credit monitoring, and we think that you should put definitely a credit freeze on your credit reports. Oh, and if you have identity theft issues, then make sure you send that to Rob Bonta. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That asshole.
Can you do that with your identity theft over your
This is
That's what I should do, right?
this is
Say it's because of them.
benefits? That's it. Yeah.
this is criminal. This is straight up criminal. I mean,
they don't understand dates, so it would work.
No, but I've already done this
No,
because
it is
they say
criminal,
this is what
100%.
they say. They say, "Oh my gosh, if this has happened, go to his website," and you go there, and it's like, kid you not, what it says: identity theft. This is something that, and they just explain what it is. It impacts your everything, and that's all it is. They don't. Nobody helps you.
well, your friend definitely has a case. I hope that the gun owners of this state sue the state into the ground. This is ridiculous. This is a slap in their face because of what the Supreme Court did. Is all it is, and they're trying to intimidate gun owners. And let me ask you this: what is the? Let's just make this distinction. Registered gun owners. How many registered gun owners are involved in a crime? I think it's very low. It's like,
yeah.
It's
How many?
like not even 1%.
CCW license people, like
Yeah.
CCW license, that involved in crime. That's a
very little.
great point here.
Because they have to go through a lot to get a CCW. It's not like these ghost guns people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
People that do
Very
crimes
hard.
are not going to go to the trouble of
Yeah.
getting registered. Are you
No.
kidding me?
They
Everybody
steal
knows
them,
this.
Steal guns, or they get ghost guns, or some nonsense.
When
like
does
that.
this guy get promoted to Biden's administration is what I want
Yeah,
to
he
know.
should be running the country.
Right?
soon.
Because he's right along. Ay,
Yep.
ay, ay.
So let me see. Here's actually, this is from
the internet.
Yeah, this is from heritage.org. Let me see here.
It'd be nice, yeah. Unfortunately, I wish we had the data because I know it's very low. Very, very, very low.
Yeah, it's got to be because these are responsible gun owners. You have to
Exactly.
go through a lot of stuff to get it. They're not get their
But they're
permit.
being demonized.
Yeah, they're going to use it for self-defense.
Yes,
Or
and they're being
defense of
demonized.
others.
Or some of them, self-defense,
Or, God forbid,
or
take
for
out a school
target
shooter.
shooting,
Yeah.
or for, they use these guns responsibly.
Right. But it's all the people
I
who
hope
do it illegally.
Is there an organization in California that is setting up a lawsuit that everybody like a class action against this or something?
They should, because then all the bad guys are going to know who has the guns and all that other stuff, and they're going to come knocking on their door to take those.
Registered CCW license people,
Yes.
right? Who have been involved in. Let me see here. This is from Department of DOJ. Let me find this really quick.
Is that from the Fed? The federal?
Yeah. Here we go. This is a federal rate. Let me write this down here because I don't want to forget. I'm going to post this stuff for you.
Riveting.
Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Over, firearm-related homicides over, this is how many they've done. Okay, out of the 18 million CCW holders.
Okay.
18 million.
Across the country you're talking about.
Across the country.
Yes.
There's 18 million CCW holders.
Okay.
Out of 18 million CCW holders, there's been 804 homicides.
But we don't. Do we know what that classify? Is that where
Are
they
those
got
justified homicides? Or
Yeah, are they justified?
That's all we know. Homicides.
Okay, so it could have been like someone
So
breaking into your
18
house
million. You
Okay.
have 800
That is
incidents of homicide.
0.004%. Now, keep in mind, that's not over 1 year.
And they're not classifying that as that self-defense or is that
I don't know yet, but keep in mind,
premeditated?
that's not over 1 year. That's over 15 years.
Oh, my God.
Wow. And that's
Right?
across the country.
Across the country.
Wow.
This is beautiful United States.
Yes, so there you go.
So these guys, this vindictive government essentially released this information in California to spank all the concealed carry people
Right.
and say, we're going to show you, because the Supreme Court made a decision that basically said, well, you can't deny them because they have a right to protect themselves. When we saw in Uvalde, what we see happening, sorry to kind of take a side trip, but we see with that school shooting that there was a lot of issues with the police running in there and doing a job. So, So the point being, though, is that what's the best way to protect yourself is to be able to protect yourself. Right? And people, and here we are, concealed carry people, 800 over 15 years, and we don't know what the statistic. We still don't know yet if those were.
Here we go. Here's the data. According to the data, Americans' 18 million concealed carry permits accounted for 801 firearm-related homicides over 15 years, which amounts to roughly 0.7 of all firearm-related homicides during 15 years. That percentage drops lower if any of the defendants, which are still pending in court, are determined to have acted in lawful self-defense. So we don't even know yet.
So we don't even know.
Because also there's a lot of the stand your ground laws in Florida where
Yeah.
people are, just not even prosecuted, tried. Just say, hey, okay, you stood your ground. You're good for you.
Yep.
Well,
there you go.
that's disgusting what that California Department of Justice did.
Yeah, disgusting. And then the nerve to send a letter saying we're gonna do a full investigation
of myself,
to find out how this could have happened, even though I posted on my website that this is what I'm doing. Like,
and then they'll drag it on and wait till the next news cycle, the big story hits, and then just magically in the back of the paper they'll be like, "Well, we never found anything."
Yeah. So hey, let's talk more about COVID.
So
hey, there's a new variant.
Let's all wear masks.
Oh my God.
Honestly, I can't believe, if you think about it, that's a ton of personal information. Because if you do a DOJ check, I mean, that's everything. Your fingerprint, I mean, it's everything.
Yeah.
And they just released it.
And yet the irony of it is you go to, you have a Google account and they want you to have, 50 security questions and 20 different passwords. You have to have
you got to have your phone with you to get your
500-word password, to get into your Google account. But yet they can just paste this other information out there. This is
basically the government said to your friend, "Oops, my bad," and that's it.
I would love to get involved in finding out how these people, I wonder, can people sue California for this?
I don't see why not. You can sue anything.
I don't know. Very, very, it happened literally a day after the Supreme Court decision.
I have a lawsuit against my children for stealing my life.
Unreal.
Well, yeah, there needs to be some. I hope.
And keep in mind, how extra scary this is too. Because it also listed everybody who had a CCW. So, including judges, cops. So, now imagine judges who live in secret, they don't want, judges who put people in prison.
Presiding over cases.
They don't want people to know where they live.
Yeah.
That found, just in LA alone, it released 244 judges' information, home addresses, full names, date of birth, families, custodial officers, places of employment. 420 different cops, all of people with employment permits to bypass gun restrictions. And it told everybody where these people were, who they are, their homes. Now you have all these 244 judges who are going, oh crap, now everybody knows where I live. These people I put in prison and their families.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Have either of you guys been to a state that has an open carry permit?
Like Vegas?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been to Vegas. I never really paid attention.
In Joplin, Missouri, they have open carry permits, and I was at a firework factory one time where you buy your fireworks from the factory, and there was this guy with this big old revolver strapped to his side. And I'm looking at my brother and going, "What the heck?" He goes, "It's an open carry state." I'm going, "Oh my God!"
But you know what? I mean, once you get over that, I bet you feel safer there because everybody's got a gun and nobody's going to get out of line, right?
I actually
but it's all these white people with guns make me nervous.
Yeah, I actually like open carry states better than concealed carry.
Yeah, I do too.
Because it's very weird. Think about how weird that is. In California, you can carry a gun on you as long as it's hidden.
Yep.
It's then nobody knows you have a gun.
Yeah.
In Nevada, you can carry a gun on you as long as everybody knows you have that gun.
Right, but you have to go through the same permitting, all this stuff.
Makes a lot more sense.
All the information,
Well, because it's a deterrent. I mean, let's be honest, it's a deterrent.
100%.
I mean, you don't see the police. I mean, besides detectives and people undercover, you don't necessarily see police hiding their guns. I mean, the guys on patrol.
I would much rather be able to have a gun strapped to my side where everybody can see it.
Because it looks badass. And,
and nobody's going to mess with me. Versus, okay, it's strapped to my ankle, and if somebody, comes and attacks me, I got to get, no,
Or
just
it's
don't
in a
come
shoulder
and attack
holster
me.
and you got to wear a hot jacket and you're all sweaty.
Right.
But
Yeah,
see, like, okay, with an open carry permit, I'm sure the last thing you want to do during your day is pull that gun out for some reason.
You never want to have to use
you
that
never
gun.
wanna
You
have to
never
use
want
it.
to have to use it. I mean, but, that's the thing. What they're doing, I mean, this state is crumbling and falling apart.
Oh, it is,
And you've got crime rising. You've got homelessness rising. You've got so many problems. And then you got our governor going to Florida wanting people to move here because it's such a great and free and open society.
Yep.
But yet, you can't even defend yourself. And if you try, they're going to post all your information and basically spank you and show you who's boss.
And just
That's disgusting.
It's like, you know what? Defund the police. You have nobody to protect you. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get a CCW to protect myself. No, I'm going to post all your information online. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, thanks. What?
Yeah. It is. It's oh my God. And then it cracks me up. Yeah. We're going to do an investigation after you just saw my website where I posted personally how I'm going to post all this information to find out who
it was
posted
you
this
who did it,
information.
who put out the information.
This is 19
No, it couldn't be me. I didn't do that.
Well, this is 1984 double speak, right?
Right.
You know?
The balls of these people, man. It drives me it's bonkers, dude. I can't believe
So what's your friend going to do? Move and live in a cardboard box?
I don't know, man.
Answer the door with his
Probably,
gun in
according to this New York Post, maybe he'll move to the red states because they're winning in the post-COVID economic realignment. According to the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, the New York Post here says, yes, they're from an article from the Wall Street Journal. The red states are winning.
Whoa.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting article, and it just basically pointed out that how the states that shut down, New York, California, did not do very well compared to the states that, like Florida and Texas, which
Followed
what's the
the
percentage
science.
here?
I like that. It says followed the science.
Right.
Where are you going?
Percentage of here?
Yeah. The percentage of people. Let's see. It says San Francisco won the prize for the biggest loss among big cities with a whopping 6.3% of the population.
That's huge.
drop.
And that city's
between
such a mess.
between what July? Oh, we missed.
Sorry, no, my internet keeps on being weird. Here,
No, that's okay. That's okay. We're under attack from the system. Yeah.
Here it is.
Where did that story go?
Okay.
Okay, from July 2020 to July 2021. So that's what the numbers are. New York also lost the second with 3.5% decline. You also have three, what does it say? Meanwhile, Florida and Texas were the couple of the big ones where they're, I think they had, what does it say?
Fastest growing cities, right?
The fastest growing cities. Three of the fastest growing cities in
They
each
never
state.
went all in with the COVID
They have three each.
Right,
And then another three in Idaho.
And then because they're
The what?
increasing, they're doing really well with jobs,
Idaho, you to pimp.
economic health. They got more tax money coming in. They're doing better because they're, got more people coming in.
Well, yeah, they got more tax money. I mean, obviously they were pro-business. They were open, and they say that the red states didn't do any worse as far as the COVID restrictions go. The red states were open, and they didn't do any worse than what the blue states, and actually the blue states did a little worse as far as COVID, as far as transmission cases, and deaths due to COVID. So, yeah, this is a very interesting article. I mean, it just kind of goes to show, why are we still here in California?
And LA is about ready to. LA County is about ready to mask up again.
Yeah, California's getting ready to mask up
because
again.
the new variant might give you a sniffle. So
yeah.
It's just crazy.
I think this new variant has the lowest death rate right now. They're saying that as far as the numbers working out.
But we got to cover up that whole CCW permit leak. So we got to come up with.
Do you have to put a mask on your concealed gun too? I wonder.
I don't know. I wonder if Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, it was a very interesting article. I mean, it just goes to show once again, it's so funny how you have our, that was another story we can get to in a different time, but I'm sure everybody's seen this commercial Gavin Newsom put out in Florida telling people to come to California. We're one of the freest states and one of the most open state.
How does he think that?
And that
I don't understand.
People are banning books over in the red states, and he's trying to tout them as some kind of regime, some kind of evil regime, and yet here we are in California, we're locked down again. Highest prices.
Gas is unaffordable.
Yeah, gas is unaffordable. Highest gas prices, highest, everything.
Does he think people are falling for that?
Yeah, people are dumb. They're sheeple.
He's just such.
Well, not in Florida. I don't think they are.
No, heck no. They don't. They're not going to leave.
Oh, here's this commercial.
State. So let's talk about what's going on in America. Freedom, it's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors. I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight. Or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom to choose, freedom from hate, and the freedom to love. Don't let them take your freedom.
Paid for by Newsom for California Governor 2022.
That'd be a good commercial.
Freedom to poop on the streets in San Francisco.
I love it.
Homeless in the city. Yeah.
And like, think about how desperate he is. He's running ads to bring people to our state because we need tax money.
Yeah, and they're leaving in flocks. It's ridiculous.
No, don't, come on.
Was it? I think they also said that he ran an ad in Costa Rica. Was it Costa Rica where it was like, please come to California? Because
real?
They're losing so many people. That might be real. Yeah, Newsom, Costa Rica. Try that. Was it Costa Rica?
Let's see. That's just...
Yeah, it's unreal what's going on.
But, yeah, California is... that was in Florida. But we'll look at that, confirm it on the next podcast. But California is bleeding people. Yeah. People are fleeing in droves from California. And this is how these guys have drank their own Kool-Aid when they think that the state is actually in good shape. Oh, we're in good shape. We won't even get into it because we don't have time. No. But speaking of good shape, business owners are now going to get hit with a $21 billion bill from the feds about unemployment that's not getting paid back by a state loan that was taken from them.
And I hope everybody understands that affects you.
It's going to trickle. It always trickles down. It's trickle-down economics.
People don't understand that, right? Like, it hits a business. Businesses are operating on very slim margins. For the most part, most businesses operate on slim margins.
Especially small businesses.
They can't do it out. So what do? They end up having to lay off employees, increase their costs, not give raises. It's going to affect. Costs are going to go up, and the average person's not going to be able to afford anything anymore.
Yep.
Geez Louise. Happy weekend, remember, everybody.
Like
Happy weekend.
Enjoy your freedom.
Freedom isn't free.
Give us 5 stars. That's all.
Come to California. We need people. We need listeners. Come to Fresno.
There you go. What? What was that?
What was that? Arnold? Oh, Arnold, what'd you say?
Arnold, what happened?
Muted Arnold.
He's muted.
Nobody mutes
It's not working. He said, screw your freedom. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you listening. Tell a friend.
Tell a dog.
Everybody. Tell everybody. Next week, we have a very, very special guest on. Local author. He's bringing in a book. So very excited. He'll be on the show next week.
The book is called Alameda.
So
by Stephen J. Cochran.
There it is.
Yep.
Stephen J. Cochran's on the show. Check it out.
Live.
So, anyways, join in.
He's not coming to the studio, is he?
That's a good
Can
question.
we look up if he has a CCW or not?
Oh, my goodness, Stephen.
Let's look him up and see where he
lives.
lives.
Hopefully don't come and get us, man. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and adios.